race for supremacy in the East intensified last weekend as Coburg did what it had to do to keep pace with first place Trenton. Highlights are coming up shortly. This is the OJ Today. Welcome everybody. Tons to get caught up on this week. Game highlights, the latest news, plus OJHL Director of Hockey Operations Brent Garbutt is going to join me here in the studio to catch up on what's happening with all these big, huge upcoming events in the OJ, and we'll have a feature story on the Markham Royals. All that coming up in just a bit, but first, the bar down game highlights, and there's really no other way to put this. It was a clash of the Titans on Wednesday night. First versus first, top dogs in the West, Georgetown, hosting numero uno in the South. That would be St. Mike's, two squads that have run roughshod over the opposition all season long, and the stage was set for a classic encounter from Gordon Alcott Arena. OJ Highlights now brought to you by Bar Down, official clothing supplier to the OJHL. The Raiders, winners of 19 of their last 21 heading into this one. Huge news earlier in the day, they acquired North York's leading scorer, Keegan Blasby. He was in the lineup. Talk about the rich getting richer. All Raiders, 7:56 in. Asher Elliott, gorgeous moves. Bang, bar down. They beat Nicholas Mueller. 1-0 Raiders, and they add to it just a minute later. Josh Dickinson on the doorstep will clean up the garbage. Georgetown off and running. They lead 2-0. Second period, though, St. Mike's does get one back. Jake Payette just can't get his 6'7" frame moving fast enough to catch AJ Durazio. He beats Josh Astorino, and the Buzzers cut the lead in half to 2-1. Just 28 seconds later, though, Raiders on the PP. Blasby gets his first point as a Raider. This shot rebounds right to Andrew Court, and G-Town regains the 2-goal advantage. Just 54 seconds after that, Matt Tom lowers the boom with the one-timer from the point, and the Raiders go up 4-1. Josh Astorino has made very few gaffes this year, so we'll give him a pass on this one, but he'd love to have that one back. Paolini scores, and it's 4-2. Again, though, the Raiders respond quickly. 3 minutes later, Ryan Takamatsu doing his best Superman impression. The diving goal, he scores midair. Georgetown up 5-2. This pretty much summed up the Buzzers' evening. Paolini, beautiful bank pass. Unfortunately, it's to Matt McJanet. Raiders, all smiles and for good reason. No scoring in the third period, but Georgetown had it well in hand. They easily dispatched the South-leading Buzzers 6-2, and the Raiders now have only lost once in their last 22 games. Well, there's no question about it. This is the most exciting year in the history of the Coburg Cougars franchise. The Cougs will be hosting the Royal Bank Cup, which is the National Junior A Championships, next May. And they're not interested in just showing up. They've actually constructed a squad that's ranked amongst the best in the country this season. And once again, they flexed their muscles against Aurora last weekend. The Tigers were undone by some absolutely atrocious giveaways. 34 seconds in, Braden Lachance, serves it up for Hunter Atchison, who dines out and asks, "What's for dessert?" 1-0 Cougars, and then it's Lewis Vlahakis in the exact same spot, whiffing on it. Atchison hits Theo Lewis out front. 2-0 Coburg, who couldn't believe their good fortune so far. Second period of play, the Tigers continue with the comedy of errors. Swing and a miss here. Quinn Sirdick cleans up the mess. No style points on that one, but they'll take it. 3-0 for Coburg in third period. Cougars with the 5-on-3 power play. Jordan DeChico from the point will slam it home, and Coburg completes the rout with their fourth of the contest. 4-0 your final. In the Battle of the Cats, the Cougars outshoot the Tigers 62-26. Total domination as Coburg continues to stay right on Trenton's heels in the East, trailing them by just 4 points. Okay, Aurora would fare much better against Milton on the weekend, however. But it's the Ice Hawks drawing first blood, 7:19 in. Scramble out front, Brad Yowart pokes it past Jake Sabarin to make it 1-0 for the Hawks, and they'd make it too late in the frame. Lucas Kells just off screen here with the point shot that somehow finds its way past Sabarin. Milton looking good early on, but that would change in the second. Lewis Vlahakis with the point shot that's tipped by Mel Melkonian, and the Cats are on the board, trailing by 1. Third period was all Tigers. Justin Paul with the lovely pass, unfortunately, to the wrong team. Adam Petrick with the wicked wrister. Aurora knots it up 2-2, and then it's Carmine Alberga setting up Petrick out front, and he smokes it past Will Roski. Tigers pad their lead to 3-2, and then finally Melkonian's shot takes a weird bounce over top of the net here, right to Jacob Katsopoulos, and it's 4-2, and that's how this one finished up. The battle of the struggling teams, it was actually a pretty entertaining affair, but the Tigers needed that one. That's just their 5th win of the year, and it pulls them ahead of Pickering in the north and out of the basement. OJ Trivia. Correct answer last week was from Michael Kruger, who answered that yes, Jerome Dupont previously coached Gatineau in the Q. This week's question, what is the host city for the 2016 World Junior A Challenge? Head to the Hockey Canada site if you don't know the answer to that one. First person with the correct email to Rick Morocco, that's rmorocco at theojhl.ca, will win an OJHL prize pack. Welcome back. Well, Coach Taurine White has the Kingston Voyageurs once again running like a well-oiled machine this year. Coming off a season where the V's made it to the Northeast Conference Final, the squad is once again a power, currently rocking a 13-6 record. Problem is, they're stuck in the uber competitive East Division, where such a record only slots them into 5th place out of 5 teams. Yeah, brutal. So Kingston can't afford to take a single game off this year if they hope to climb the ladder, and they faced a stiff challenge from Stovall last Saturday. This was all Kingston at the start. Anyway, just 58 seconds in, Josh LeBlanc fights to the net. Brandon Nadeau, Johnny on the spot to knock it home, and it's 1-0 for the V's. 5 minutes later, Cole Edwards fans on the first attempt, sticks with it though, and puts the second effort past Hunter Jones. Shock and awe, Kingston out to the quick 2-0 lead, and they make it 3. Brendan Lockett out front here dances past Jones, and it's 3-0 Kingston, all in the first period of play. Second frame, the onslaught would continue. Nobody clears out Dorian Overland out front. Where is the Stovall D? 4-0 for Kingston. Stovall would get some back though. First it's Andrew Hughes collecting the nice pass and punching it in to make it a 4-1 game, and then late in the frame, Spirit on the power play, Brent McKinnell wills it past Ryan Glander to cut the lead in half to 4-2, as yeah, there it is right there. And you got to hand it to Stovall. They've got heart. They never quit. They make it close in the third as Joseph Teofilo turns on the Jets and will slide it past Glander to narrow the gap to 4-3. Alas, that is as close as they would get. So Kingston holds on for the 4-3 victory. An important win for them, but these are troubling times indeed for Stovall. With the defeat, they've now lost 5 straight games, and they fall out of first place in the North. Well, the Orangeville Flyers got a bit younger this year, but one thing they haven't lost is that fire in the belly. The Flyers bring it every single game, and despite boasting a losing record right now, have racked up some huge wins, including one 2 weeks ago that put an end to Georgetown's 19-game unbeaten streak. Last weekend, they zeroed in on pulling off another upset, this time over the Toronto Patriots. The Patriots much improved over last year, sitting mid-table in the South, and they hit first just 2:06 in. Gustin Anetta manages to get it out front. Oliver Benwell banks it home, and Toronto gets on the board, and they're up 1-0. Just before the buzzer, Flyers pressing, the puck stays out, but Hudson Lambert, in a bad mood apparently, as he lays some punishment on Eric Aramita, and he'd get 2 in the naughty boy box for that. Second period was all Flyers despite being outshot 16-8. Nathan Gooch bides his time out front and knocks it past Tyler Fassel, and they were all knotted up at 1 apiece. And then it's Flyers keeper Ruin Badenhorst with aspirations of one day taking off the pads perhaps and skating freely. Nice moves around Brett Bannister. He gets it up the ice, And it will be, wait for it, there it is. Ryan Barbosa banking it in, and the Orange go up 2-1. And Badenhorst getting it done as well between the pipes. A couple of nice stops here to stymie the Patriots and keep the Flyers in the lead. Okay, third period, they put this one away for good. Newly acquired Bailey Malala with the tip-in out front to pad the Flyers' lead to 3-1, and that would be all that they would need. So Orangeville picks up just his 8th win in 26 games, but don't sleep on these guys. They definitely can pull an upset or two. 3-1 the final. Now, among Orangeville's 8 wins, the victims include Oakville, Georgetown, and South-leading St. Mike's. If these guys could just find a little bit of consistency, they can push perhaps for a playoff spot. Okay, Cougars continued their road trip in Pickering on Sunday. Early on, it looked like we might be witnessing one of the biggest upsets of the year. 18 seconds in, Eric Becker makes it 1-0 for the Panthers. And then midway through the period, Cats on the PP, Andrew Poulias snaps it past Matt Mena. Pickering leading powerful Coburg 2-0. What's happening? But then the Cougars do wake up. Matt Carroll left alone out front. Cuts the lead in half to 2-1. And second frame, Coburg would even it up. Former Panther Quinn Surdick banks it home past Spiros Koskinis to make it 2-2. And then Brennan Roy goes bottle hunting from the point and finds it. Cougs on top, 3-2. Third frame, however, Pickering evens it. Stephen Elliott uses Anthony Stavro as a decoy and goes roof daddy past Mena to put things even and into overtime. Second overtime to be precise. 3-on-3. Ryan Castleman chilling on the doorstep. He will knock it home. And that right there was all she wrote. So Cobourg survives a serious scare to nab the 2 points. That has got to be a confidence builder for the young Panthers, however, as they go paw to paw with the powerful Cougars and nearly pull off the upset. Okay, OJ standings starting in the East. Trenton, a narrow lead over Coburg, and then it's Whitby in third, and Wellington in fourth, and Kingston in fifth, just a point behind Wellington. In the North Division, Markham on top over Stovall by 4 points, followed by Newmarket, Lindsay, Aurora, and the Pickering Panthers. In the South Division, St. Mike's leading the way with 40 points, followed by Oakville, the Toronto Patriots, North York, the JRCs, and Mississauga. And in the West, Georgetown, a comfortable lead over Burlington, followed by Buffalo, Orangeville, and Milton, with just 7 points on the year so far. This week's alumni update, big NHL stuff. Mike Camilleri, formerly of the Blues, now with New Jersey, named NHL Second Star of the Week. Brent Burns, formerly a Couchiching Terrier, now with San Jose, named Third Star of the Week. Dylan Secura, formerly of the Aurora Tigers, now with Northeastern, named Hockey East Player of the Week, and NCAA Third Star of the Week. And Jordan Manello, now with Sacred Heart, named the AHC Player of the Week. Welcome back to the OJ Today, and it is time for the interview, brought to you, of course, by Edge Again. Portable, manual, and powered skate sharpeners. Visit edgeagain.com for more information. And yeah, I'm joined in the studio now by the OJHL Director of Hockey Operations, Brent Garbutt. Thanks for making the trek down here in rush hour traffic.
No problem. Thanks for having me. Glad to be here.
So we're getting a good 3 months into the season now. Lots of stuff happened so far. Some great things. Anticipation of big events coming up later on, of course. But maybe just talk about the season and what's transpired so far and how happy you are with it.
Yeah. No. Thanks for reminding me. It's been 3 months in. I guess we're just kind of so buried into what's going on that can't even believe it's almost December now. So that's. It's an exciting time in the league for sure. We got a lot of close races in the standings for sure for the play on the ice. But probably the biggest thing we've had so far was our Governor Showcase in Buffalo, which turned out to be a phenomenal success again for the second straight year. The folks at the Harbor Center and obviously the Buffalo Junior Sabres did a tremendous job again hosting it. Had well over 200 scouts in attendance. I think close to 30 NHL teams were there. I think we were almost in the 40s at Division I NCAA schools. So it was just unbelievable. The atmosphere is great. Players absolutely love coming down there. They're just seen lineups of scouts in single file outside the dressing room after games to talk to players, sometimes 15 to 20 people deep. That's pretty exciting. So I like to see that.
Yeah, good stuff, Sam.
Yeah.
As I've mentioned a couple times now, this has got to be the most exciting year the league's ever had. Being hosting a host of the Dudley Hewitt Cup, as well as the RBC, of course, in Coburg next spring. It is. I mean, can you remember the last time the team had this? The league had this much going on?
No, not since I've been involved. This is my sixth season in the league now, and this is definitely the most exciting we've got with all the back end championships, and we still have another showcase coming up in Trent as well. So they've got Trent especially, they have a lot on their plate, but so does Cobourg. They have a lot to get prepared for here at the RBC. So both those teams are doing great on the ice as well. So it's nice to see from the league standpoint.
Powerhouse squads on both. I was going to start with Trenton really quick, just to mention Trenton, of course, last year's champions in the OJ, and they've got it going on again this year. Powerful team. They are hosting the Dudley Hewitt Cup. How are preparations coming along there?
Good. Good. They've got obviously a hardworking staff and hardworking organization. They're very well run from the right top to bottom. They're very well organized. So they have a lot on their plate, including even getting some arena renovations in that they're going to magically get done even before January, from what I'm hearing. So
new press box, which the camera people are going to be very happy about.
They'll be be very happy about that. So will fans and anyone watching on Hockey TV, of course.
Right. Coburg hosting the RBC. Coming up in May, it'll be the first time since 2006 when Streetsville hosted it, the national championship. They are very excited, obviously, to be hosting this. We've talked to GM Brent Tully about this before, about some of the preparations. Last year, Coburg and Trenton hosted games in the World Junior A Challenge. So that was like a nice little dry run for both towns, wasn't it? Especially Coburg hosting the big event this year.
Yeah, for sure. Coburg did a phenomenal job. I remember being there at the gold medal game last year, and the atmosphere was absolutely electric, incredible. The stands were just packed. It's overflowing with people, and the atmosphere was unbelievable. So to see that for a week long at the RBC is going to be very exciting.
Yeah, and if people want to find out more about tickets, because RBC tickets and especially Dudley Hewitt's, because Dudley Hewitt tickets, because it's a little before the RBC, they're flying off the shelves right now. If people want to find out more, what's the best place to go to?
Yeah, the best place would be for the OJHL website or the Trenton Gold Hawks website. There's also a Dudley Hewitt Cup website as well. So any of those three are the best places to go. Same with the RBC, Hockey Canada's, and Cobourg's, and the OJHL's as well.
Fantastic. We appreciate you coming down in rush hour, as I said.
No problem. Glad to be here.
All right.
Anytime.
Thanks, buddy. We'll see you again next time.
Thanks.
Okay, one more game to show you. Raiders hosting North York. First minute, just in case Greg Walters wasn't awake yet. Oh, he is now, as he takes a puck right in the chest, but at least he has a good laugh about it. Jeremy Lintner was the story in the first period. Look at the robbery on Matt McJanet. Incredible save by the Rangers keeper, and then he duplicates the feat on two Raiders out front soon afterwards. Lintner coming up big to save his team's bacon, and it would pay off because North York draw first blood on the beautiful one-timer by Joey Mazariz's power play goal, and it's 1-0 for the Rangers. Back to the Lintner show. He comes up huge. This time he leaves Josh Dickinson shaking his head. The Raiders throwing everything but the kitchen sink at him in the first, with no results, though, until this. Andrew Court to Callum Cusinato, his first goal as a Raider, and finally G-Town hits the score sheet. It's 1-1. Second period, all Raiders. On the power play, Mr. McJanet, relaxing at the side of the net, says, "Don't mind if I do." He puts it home, and it's 2-1 G-Town. Then it's Jack Jacome going to work.
Up ahead for Jacome. Jacome plays it. Here comes Jack Jacome, still has that puck. He walks in, Double J shoots and scores! Double J buries it past Lintner. What a goal, and it's 3-1 Raiders.
Last year's OJ Rookie of the Year, so much talent. Third frame, Ethan Wiseman, since traded to the Rangers for Keegan Blasby. He tips it home to make it 4-1 Raiders. And with less than a minute left, Rangers can't clear the puck. Josh Dickinson feeds Jordan Anderson here to make it 5-1 for the Raiders. Balanced scoring all through the lineup. Man, Georgetown does look good this year. 5-1 your final, and as mentioned, that was Wiseman's last game as a Raider, as he was traded by Greg Walters for Keegan Blasby later in the week. Blasby, 6'2", 215 pounds, adding more skill and size to the Georgetown lineup. News and notes, Canada East Camp OJHL players named Logan Gauthier, Hunter Jones, Mark Paolini, Sam Dunn, Josh Camilleri, and Finn Evans. Ryan Heaps of Whitby, Luke Keenan of Whitby with 4 players named actually. Philip Lagunov, Jack McBain, Bryce Misley, and Nick Mucci. Also, Cameron Searles of St. Mike's, Riley St. Onge, Kyle Thomas, Brock Welsh of Whitby, and Cameron Wright of St. Mike's. And exciting news, the OJHL will be hosting their first ever combines. April 6th to 9th in Oshawa, April 20th to the 23rd in Oakville. You can showcase your talents to all 22 OJHL teams, ages ranging from 14 to 17 years old. Head to ojhl.ca for all the information. Welcome back. Well, the Markham Royals were a force in the OJHL last season, no question about it. The squad captured the North Division title and sent numerous players on to the next level. This year, they've picked up right where they left off. Once again, atop the North, once again featuring several of the OJ's elite young players. It's a recipe that has head coach Michael Laddie confident about their chances to make some serious noise come playoff time. Markham, this week's team report brought to you by Muscle Milk. Muscle Milk. Get stronger every day. It would be fair to say the Markham Royals took the city by storm last season. The franchise relocated from the Steel City, and in its first year in Markham, immediately impressed. The Royals captured the North Division title and advanced to the second round of the playoffs before ultimately falling to a powerful Kingston squad.
Altogether, it was a good year. We won the first round of playoffs. We had a lot of guys move on. You know, and Azano, Dunlop to Ottawa, Bruce to Oswego, Spivak to York. It was just a good year all around.
The team shocked a lot of people. We came in the new season not expecting much, but then we ended up picking a lot of guys up in the off season. A lot of people wanted to come and make the first year back in Markham great, and I think that's pretty much what we did with the division championship, and then early exit in the playoffs. But for the first year in Markham again, it was a great time coming back and then making it that far. So there was no complaints at all.
As mentioned, several key players from last year's team advanced to the next level. Tyson Bruce, Marco Azano, Aaron Spivak all departed. In their absence, however, the Royals have filled the void left behind impressively.
We're about the same. You know, we lose Bruce and Spivak and Dunlop, but guys like St. Onge and Kandata and McKay, they're a year older now. They're taking on those roles and they're doing a good job. I just think we're balanced. You know, we got two good goaltenders, six defensemen with some size. You know, they can skate, and we're trying to put together four lines that can play. So our balance, I think, is our biggest strength.
Their third game in 3 nights here. On them hard, on them quick right off the bat. Speed to the outside, pucks get behind their D, expose their D zone. Lots on net with a presence here, guys.
Coach Michael Laddie feels Riley St. Onge has been the squad's best overall player so far. A draft pick of the OHL's Flint Firebirds, St. Onge has lit the lamp with consistency.
Oh, he's fast. He's got so much speed. You know, he beats DY. You know, sometimes he plays physical. He can obviously put the puck in the net. You know, he just brings it every night. And you know, he's one of few on this team that brings it every night. So it's a pleasure to play with him.
Lucas Kandata was named team captain before the season began, and he brings a solid 200-foot game with a bit of an edge.
He goes into beast mode when he's on the ice. He doesn't care if he knows you, he doesn't care if he likes you or just doesn't like you. He plays the same way all the time. He battles hard, he brings an unbelievable work ethic, and he's the captain of the team. That's the way he plays. He'll do anything for the guys on the ice that he's playing with, and that's the kind of guy that we like to have around, and he's not afraid of anyone or anything. So.
After a stint in the United States Hockey League, Lane McKay is back and brings an elite skill set.
No, McKay, you know, I got the chance to coach him for 2 months in Hamilton there when I took over there a couple years ago, instantly became a favorite guy because he just works hard, puts up some points, and does what you ask. And he's been carrying that into our play here in Markham, and he's been real good for us this year.
The Royals know advancing in the postseason is going to be a massive task this year, but they feel they've got as good a chance as any to make a run for the Buckland Cup.
Hey, we're winning the North again is our goal, and to go as far as we can. We're going to try to build this team to have a run. Again, winning the North is a goal, and we'll see what happens after that.
I think we could win a championship. We have the guys in place, but we need to add a couple of pieces. Like, we're missing a couple pieces here, but I think we can win a championship. We're a great team. All the guys get along. We go out sometimes, hang out. It's really fun, and it's fun to play here, and a bunch of great guys. So everybody wants to play for each other.
And before we go, a look at the top 5 brought to you by Johnston's official championship ring provider to the OJHL. Number 5, Aurora's Adam Petrick jumps all over the Milton Miscue and shelves it past Will Roski. And the Tigers win. Number 4, Pickering Stephen Elliott uses Anthony Stavro as a decoy and then goes Roof Daddy past Matt Mena in their near upset of Coburg last week. Number 3, Georgetown's Asher Elliott with the sweet move, and then he paints the top corner past St. Mike's keeper Nicholas Mueller in the big Georgetown win. Number 2, one of 2 plays of the week by North York's Jeremy Littner against Georgetown. First, he makes the goal line stand to keep the puck out. Beautiful stops, and then number 1. Littner showing the yoga training is paying off as he does the splits to rob Matt McJanet. Take another look. I am singing soprano, just looking at this incredible save, and that is our OJ play of the week. And that is it for this week. Just remember, though, you can keep up to date on everything with the league by heading to ojhl.ca. On Twitter, you can find it at OJHL Official, and on Facebook at facebook.com/OJHL Official. Thank you so much for tuning in, folks, and we'll see you next week.